What? Oh. Hello. I guess come on in. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Titas. I'm a scholar of sorts. I've been looking for answers for a problem for a very long time. I'd like to tell you a bit about a few young adventurers that I've employed to aid me in my pursuits. I'll start by telling you the story of a young kobold that I found not too terribly long ago. If it's all the same to you, I'll tell you her side of the story in her words.
Before my journey began, I lived in a hole surrounded by a great forest. It wasn't a terrible hole in the ground, though. It was long and winding with a complex series of tunnels that my tribe called home. My job was to help maintain and expand the tunnels. It was a simple job, but I took pride in what I did. This was my life for many years. But it came to an end when my tribe came under attack. For a while, every night, our warriors who stood guard, they would be missing by morning. Our numbers dwindled far too quickly, and we had nowhere to go. The forest was far too dangerous. I remember we sent out a scouting party from our hole to find weapons and tools that maybe we could use to help. They were the last of our fighters. Night fell before they returned, and so my tribe needed to watch for danger. My tribe was too frightened to leave the depths of our hole, so I volunteered to stand watch. Each of my friends said goodbye. They knew, like I knew, I wouldn't be back. But what could I do? I had to keep my friends and tribe safe from whatever was coming, no matter what. Night fell, and I stood alone before the dark opening of our home. I won't lie, my heart jumped at every sound. I was scared, cold, and alone. My tribe equipped me with a wooden spear and a pot lid. They were my only defense. I was glad to have them. They made me feel safe as I gazed into the trees. It was several hours into my watch when I saw a shadow approaching. I held out my spear and readied myself for whatever may come. I saw its black fur first, and then the white patch that makes up its face. The claws and the black eyes seemed to shimmer as it left the trees and entered the moonlight. I remember shaking. I knew it saw me. I was ready, though, with my spear as it charged, reaching out with its massive claw. I caught it with my spear as it charged, but its hide was too thick. I held up my pot lid and braced as it slashed at me, but my lid left my hands as the beast grabbed it with its mouth. I remember the stench of it. I can't find the words to describe it. But once it had my pot lid in its mouth, it turned for a second. I used this opportunity to lunge with my spear, and I succeeded and lodged my wooden spear into the beast's side. I remember the howl it made. It cried out, and, well, for a moment I felt sorry for the thing. But then it turned back at me, and that pity quickly left as it swiped with its claw, knocking me down. My heart dropped as I saw the beast stand and fall with all its weight bearing down on its front claws, landing on my arm. The scream I made was perhaps the loudest I'd ever screamed. My arm was twisted and mangled. I'd never seen my own bones before that moment. I forced myself up as the beast stood on its hind legs once again. I lunged to bite it. It was all I could do. I succeeded, perhaps a little too well, as I crunched into its throat. I held as the beast flailed. I couldn't release my bite. If I did, I would die, so I held until the creature fell. All I could taste was its fur and its blood in my mouth, the coppery tang. When the battle ended, I retreated into the hole. My tribe was horrified at the sight of my arm and at all the blood. My friends tended to me as others rushed past. I don't recall much after that, as I guess I passed out. When I woke, my tribe was feasting on the beast, roasting it in tiny pieces. I remember a few of them had even collected pieces of its pelt and were turning it into trophies. My arm was still shattered, piercing my flesh, but I felt fine aside from that. My tribe thanked me, and with the best equipment from our collections, told me I won't have to dig anymore. I was to stand guard from then on, to keep our home safe. But I couldn't. My arm didn't work anymore. I couldn't dig, and I surely couldn't stand watch. I'd only gotten lucky with the beast. Our elder knew this and told me I had to find outside help. No one here could fix that. So, with my newfound equipment, I bid my home and friends farewell and began searching for outside help. We didn't contact outsiders very often. When we did, it was only out of desperation. And I'd surely never contacted anyone outside of home before. I didn't know what to expect. Well, no, that's not true. I knew what I expected. I expected to die in the forest. I was injured and alone, and I shouldn't have made it very far. Didn't even know where I needed to go, so I guess I just picked a direction and went. Oh, but that's when I met Titas. He was walking through the forest when we met, but... Well, Titas, I don't really remember much after that. What happened?
That's the story of Cole, my kobold friend. Let me fix something to drink. Would you like some tea? I'll put on the kettle. Next, I'll tell you the story of the strangest slime.